Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Great. Thank you very much. Thank you thank you for today. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to see the DHS6 features in this presentation. And we have some fascinating features that we will soon discover. And in today's presentation, we have about 23 slides, and which we have calculated about an hour. And let's have some introduction of the project. We have Sébastien Perret, who is the project manager, and Patrick Pradier, who is the software architect, and finally Mansour, which he is the software developer. Let's begin exploring the features. Sorry, one moment. Okay, so we have in today's agenda, we will see the architecture of the program, how the new features are integrated with the existing features. We have the roadmap that we will see the DHS5, DHS6, as well as DHS7. We have the features, the existing features, where these features were previously introduced by DHS5, which was like the data stores via admin API, the producers, the configurations of the consumers, and the metadata stores. And today we will see the subscription, we will see the deletion and the notification feature. Obviously, these are the features that are added in DHS6. And at the end, we will have a little demonstration on the ingestion from GSS and the CDSC products. And we will have the products, we will navigate some products on the catalog. We will use some filters, and obviously we'll try to download a couple of products. And at the end, we will see the subscription and the deletion feature, how the subscription works, how the deletion feature works, and how a user can be notified using the notification. We have the architecture as we spoke, and as you can see, we had the previous components. We had the CDH ingest, and we had the CDH catalog, which is here, and we had the CDH admin, which were previously introduced. And as you can see, we have the CDH notification included. This is another component. And let's imagine that we have a couple of products already ingested, and it can be from GSS or CDSC or DUS. And the information concerning this product is stored in the database, and the metadata is indexed in Solr. And now we would like to see these new features. So we have the subscription. So a user can create a subscription on the catalog. We will see how in the upcoming slides. And we have the admin API who would like to delete a product. And in both admin API and the CDH catalog, we have filters defined. So the admin API uses a filter to delete a product or a range of products. And on the deletion, the message will be stored in Kafka. And this message later, it will be consumed by the CDH notification. And the user will be notified with a notification. And we will see in the upcoming slides. The roadmap as we spoke, so we have DHS5. DHS5 has been released only, I think, to a subset of the HR users for beta testing users. In DHS5, we had introduced ingestion from DUS, from GSS data sources, and of course from CDSC data source. The admin API configurations for the ingesters, data stores, and their properties were introduced, GDPR compliances, some bug fixes. And today in DHS6, we're going to see the product subscription on the catalog. We have product deletion feature using the admin API, and we have the product notification using the CDH notification. Of course, we have had some log improvements. We have patched some vulnerabilities, and we have upgraded some libraries, and we had some bugs squashed. And in the upcoming release, which is the DHS 7, of course, we are including the Stack API feature. We will have log improvement matrices for Daphne, and the DHR monthly report generation, the log aggregator to queue in Kafka and in a centralized single log metric, and the ability to perform the administrative tasks on GSS admin API via Daphne, and data flow operations via Daphne. The following is the reference document that corresponds to the current version, which is the version 1.4.3. The open source repository on gitlab.com for CDH distribution. We have the Docker Hub repository as well. So here we begin with the screenshot of the technical section of the admin API features. A note that I would like to mention, so the screenshot that you see in here, the JSON configuration, we are going to use the same configuration for today's demonstration. So this is the exact screenshot of the configuration. Okay, so in today's demonstration, we will use the time-based data store. So in the time-based data store, we have the permission defined, which is an array of operations that indicates the read and write and delete operation. We have some properties defined, evict on reference. We have the evict attached files, the quick looks, and the name of the data store, which is HFS, the basic priority policy. We have a child for this store, which is called the HFS child. We have given the same level of permission as parent. And the properties defined for this, store by name, save as multi-part. Of course, we have the period defined and evict reference true. Voila, we have and we have a little box in here which says catalog configuration application properties. So please ensure to use the same name on the configuration file of the catalog and the application.properties. We have the path defined, the depth, and then we have the parent group, which belongs to the parent HFS, and the type of the store. Although all these attributes are very well explained in the administration manual, we will try to explain as well in the upcoming slides all the attributes. So we have the QuickLooks data store. For the QuickLooks, we are going to store it in another data store. We have the permissions. We have the properties. Okay, yes, attached files can be stored, that's true. The name of the store, the path for the store, and same properties. We have the metadata store. We have the level of permission. We have the name, and we have the host. The host is an HTTP because today we are going to perform on local. The client, I'm not using any user, any password. The collection, which is going to be called as CDH, default sort, and the max stop and max escape. Please ensure to use the same name on your configuration file, which is the application.properties of the catalog. We are here to see the producers. So we have the producers. We are going to create two producers, two consumers. In these two producers and consumers, we're going to ingest from CDEC and we're going to ingest from TSC. Okay, we have the producer name. We have the Kafka instances. We have a name for the topic, which is called ingest CDEC. We haven't given any data sources today. The filter, okay, we have the filter, and in the filter, if it's a regex pattern, if you would like to filter using the product name or the product type. Process error, it is true, but we will not apply it. It is 0, the number of retries. Push interval is 40 seconds. The reprocess is false. Our source is defined. We have the service root URL. So we have the endpoint as data space, and it's the OData version 1. And for the deuce, it's going to be OData v2. We have the authentication. If you have to provide it. And the types of the source types that are currently supported is the folder, OData, and the Swift. We have the fetch attribute, quick looks true. We have a filter, which is the start with name is tree. So I would like to get all the tree products from this endpoint. Last publication date is I would like to have the products from this date on greater than or equal to. So starting from the 25th of the 5th. The assumed format we have, it's mandatory for the DOS and CDC sources, .zip. The top is 2. We have the types defined. Currently, we have CDC, CSC, and DOS. And the use date from the database is false. So if I have to review the producer, I would go and I would explain it from bottom to top. And how is that? So I would say that I would like to have from this date all the S3 products from this endpoint using my credentials, authentication. I want to have the quick looks as well. And I want to repeat this cycle every 40 seconds. And every 40 seconds, I would like to have 2 products. And using Kafka instances, and I would like to use the topic to have it on Kafka. We have the producer name, of course. So this name has to be the same on the application.properties of the ingest file component. We have the topic, which has to be the same on the consumer, on the producer. And voila. Let's continue. We see the consumer with the CDC source. So for the consumer, we have a name, group ID, the Kafka instances. The topic, of course, is going to be the same, parallel ingest 2. We have the reprocess false. Source authentication, you have to provide if the endpoint requires an authentication. Retries, if there are lots of requests, okay, wait for 5 seconds if it has to. Service root URL, same attribute. We have the type CDSE, and then we have the source on delete is false. Task list. Okay, we have the task list. We have 4 main operations to perform. So if I have to say that I would like to perform these 4 operations, which 4 operations I want to ingest in the data store, I want to ingest in the metadata store, and I want to extract the metadata, I will create the quick looks. And if there is an error, I will try to move the product in a specified location. And I would like to repeat this for every 2 products. And please remember to put the same name that of the data store that you have created previously. The metadata store name, we have these boxes indicating that the data stores that we created, just to remind us to use the same name. We have the producer for the CSC source. Same attributes, except that for the CSC source that I'm using for the endpoint, I will not be providing any credentials. So authentication operation, I have removed it because it does not require. So we have a name, we have the other attributes. So I have defined the vision.odata.gael, OData version 1. And then we have the quick looks for this. I have a filter that I would like to take all the S2 products from the following date. I do not have any assumed format defined. And on every 40 seconds, I will take 2 products on this for the CSC source. We have the consumer defined for the CSC source. The same attributes, the same operations that we have to ingest in data store, to ingest in the metadata store. We are using the same data store to store the products of the CSC and CDSC, just to keep it a little bit simple. And then at the end, we have the error manager. So the error manager, previously we saw that we have defined a folder. So if a product is not ingested for any case, the product will be moved to a location we had defined. And at the moment we have in here a container on Swift. So you can define this container if you would like to move these products to a different container on a different source. Now we begin to see the configurations. So we have the configuration for the admin API, and then we will see the configuration for the CDH catalog, and then we will see the configuration for the CDH ingest. So the admin API, we spoke about version 1.3.0. For the authentication of key clock, we had the following properties defined. So we had to write the required fields, and we do not use these properties in version 1.4.3. That's what indicated here. So these all properties have been replaced by 5 main properties for the admin API in here. Authentication, you define it if you would like to have it as true. We have the Spring resource server. Spring resource server validates the token that's coming to the server, to the admin API, and then we have the key clock admin client, and we have the key clock role. So I would like to validate the token first, and then I will see if this token contains the correct client that we are writing in here, and if this client contains the role that is in here mentioned. Moreover, the same attribute that we had in the HS5 server port, we have the name attribute, sorry, the username. We see also the product deletion properties. This is a new, these are new properties that have been included for the deletion. We have to write the Kafka host, the topic. By default, we let it as deletion. And then we write the name of the data stores, the metadata store, because the deletion will be performed. It will delete it from the data store and the metadata store as well. The encryption key that is used to encrypt the communication between the program and the database. We have the database setup, the log labels. Catalog configuration. So we saw the resource server in here. And now we have included the Auth2 client. The Auth2 client, normally it allows the users to view the exposed products on the navigator, the web browser. And it uses the SSO single sign-in protocol, which you can be redirected to KeyCloak to provide your username and password. And then it will be validated by the resource server, which is mentioned in here. So yes, and then we have the same properties. The server port for today, we use 8081. Okay, we have the servlet context path, the database. We have the CDH configuration. For example, we have the names of the data source we just saw that we are going to create. And then we have the deletion properties in the catalog as well mentioned. The same previous properties we had it during the DHS5. The ingester configuration. So we have the nothing really changed in the ingester configuration. So we have the database defined, we have the data stores, we have 2 consumers, we have 2 producers, we have the metadata store, the encryption key, and the log labels defined. The architecture of the new features that we are introducing today. So we have the catalog, CDH catalog subscription. We have the CDH admin API deletion and the notification of the CDH notification. A user tries to create a subscription. How? We will see it in the next slide. So a user tries to create a subscription on the catalog. It's processed by the catalog. And then if all the required attributes are provided, a response will be issued to the user. We will see an example of the response in the upcoming slide as well. So we have a subscription created. The next stage is that the admin would like to delete the product. And the deletion is processed by the admin. And then once the deletion is processed, it queues the deletion message. And then this deletion message is consumed by the CDH notification by identifying the subscription filter. So we have 2 filters, as we discussed, that we are going to see. And if this filter matches, the user will be notified on the product deletion. We have a catalog subscription. We have a little definition in here. So the end user creates and submits a subscription request, as we saw. of course, on the catalog, and the subscription request can contain a filter, may contain a filter, and this filter can be on the product type, on the time range, on the footprint, or whatever convenient. The subscription must also include a notification endpoint. So if the user would like to be notified, the user must provide a notification endpoint. The following is an example of the notification endpoint. So users are required to select an endpoint designed to receive, voila, so it's to receive the notification. And once the user tries to create this subscription, the user will receive a response containing an ID, a status, a subscription event. Initially, this is running and this is deleted, a filter parameter, a notification endpoint, submission date. And I think we're going to see an example on the next slide. Here we go. We have the JSON configuration. We have included subscription.json in the version 1.4.3. You can find the template. So we have a request. This is how it looks. On the catalog, we want to create a subscription. So I provide a filter. I want to create a filter on the product starting with the S3, and I would like to receive the notification on this endpoint. And my subscription event will be deleted and the status is running. So if I have to say that I would like to receive a notification each time a deletion is performed on an S3 product, and if the status is running and it's active. For this endpoint, I do not have any username or password. Once I create this, I get the response. And you can navigate the subscription on the navigator web browser as well. You can have many subscriptions if you would like to see. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate. So admin API, we have the product deletion feature. We saw the subscription. We see the admin API user, okay, can delete a product or a range of products. Deleting a product from the admin API will create a notification message. Okay, so we have the admin user, deletes a product, this queues it in Kafka, and the CDH notification will match the subscription. If the subscription is matched, it will notify the user. There can be many subscriptions, there can be many endpoints defined. The CDH notification will send the notification by matching the subscription, as we just said. Product deletion steps, how can we delete a product? So to do that, we have two steps. We have to create a deletion job. And then in this deletion job, we define our task. And then we use this deletion job to delete the product. We launch this deletion job. How? We see it in the next slide, I believe. We have a deletion job request. I would like to create a job. I want to delete all the products of the S3, Sentinel-3 products. And I want to have a message in here. It's like a little comment that if you want to have multiple jobs, deletion jobs for S2, for, I don't know, S5 or a single product, you can define your filter by writing a comment about your filter. So you define it when you make a git of all the jobs, you will see different deletion jobs with the little comments that explain which deletion job performs what type of operation. So we have our OData filter defined, and why the reason we have wrong checksum. We have a couple of reasons mentioned. Please check the documentation, the administration manual. For today's demonstration, I have wrote the wrong checksum. And then once I create the deletion job, I have the response. In the response, I have the deletion job ID. And the filter that I provided matches 5 products. I had 5 products. So we haven't wrote $filter equals in here. It's normally, if you write it, it's okay. If you don't write it, it will be appended automatically. But it's recommended if you write it, it will be better. So we use this ID to perform the deletion job /run, and the job will be executed. Now we will see the CDH notification. So the CDH notification, we have the the notification component is named CDH notification. It's a process where it will consume the deletion of the products from Kafka and notifies the endpoints, the users, the catalog users. So we have the configuration for the CDH notification. It's the same configuration that we will use today. We have the catalog path defined, the Kafka hosts, the topic deletion, group ID, the database, the encryption key, and we have the log levels. And in here, as you can see, okay, a notification can be contains the following. Once you receive the notification message on your endpoint will contain a product ID, product name, the reason, the subscription ID, because it has to match, and then you have the notification date, and we can see a notification in the upcoming slide, which is here. So in here we have the notification endpoint. As you remember, we had 5 products. We executed the deletion of 5 products. And in this deletion, we have 5 products that were deleted. We have 5 notifications. So for each product, we will receive a notification. So we have the subscription ID, as we discussed in the previous slide, the notification date, the name of the product ID, and the reason that run checksum, the one we created during the deletion job. We're going to begin soon with the demonstration. For today's demonstration, we have a little environment prepared. We have a running Solar Kafka instances and a database. The demo performing steps will be, we will run the CDH admin API to execute the JSONs that we saw in the slides. This contains the JSON requests for the data stores, producers, consumers. We will run the CDH ingest via admin API to ingest using the defined producers, consumers, and data stores. And then we will run the CDH catalog to view our products. And we will create a subscription on the CDH catalog, which is the new feature. And then we will try to delete a product or 2 or all the products if necessary using the admin API feature. And then we will run the CDH notification to see how these filters work and how a user can be notified. Voila. So do you have any questions? I don't know if it was clear enough. If you have any queries, please let me know.
Hello.
Yes.
I have a question about the new subscriptions.
Yes, please.
I didn't completely understand, but maybe you can help me. Do you expect subscriptions to be made by external users or by people like us who are running the data hubs?
Normally, the subscriptions can be created by the end users.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, in fact, the operational scenarios that we would cope with this is the one for which a user that retrieves data by another GSS from another GSS, for example, to each other that are retrieving data each other, can be informed if in the data source, so in the GSS that act as data sources, some products has been deleted, for example, because corrupted or ingested and so on, so that the user, so the HR that is retrieving data or the collaborative user that is retrieving data is informed that that product is to be deleted.
Okay, thank you.
If no more questions, we can proceed with the demo. Okay. We will come back to this slide after the demonstration. So we have 2 screens. This one, I will be executing today's request as an admin To differentiate the end user, I have created another screen, which is going to be the end user. We will see the notification and the products in here. So I will begin as a CDH admin API user. I will run the admin. Okay, the container is running. So we have the requests already here. They're ready. We begin with the time-based data store configuration we saw. Send the request. Created. QuickLooks data store, the one we saw. The metadata store. Producer for the CDC. We have the producer for the CSC. Consumer for CSC. We have the consumer for CDC normally. Okay. The environment is ready to begin the ingestion. So we begin with ingestion. Pulling the images. I believe my computer is not that fast, but if okay, it's running. Let's wait a minute or two to see if we get some products ingested. But in the meantime, we can run the CDH catalog as well to see the products. Taking a little time in here. Okay. Our catalog is running. See if we have any product ingested. Not yet. And, my connection is a little slow. I'm sorry. I have a supercomputer. Okay. As a user, so I have this notification endpoint open. This will be used later for the subscription. So you should have an endpoint. We have mentioned one in the slides, and you can have your own endpoint, which requires a login or a password as well. So for today's demonstration, we would use this endpoint. This endpoint is at the moment listening for the notifications to receive. And okay, I think we have some products ingested. Let's look at the. So we are trying to see the products, and we have a count on the products. How many products have we got? We have, at the moment, we have 4 products, as you can see in here. So we have the S2 product, the one we saw. We have the S2B. S2B. We can get the product, for example, by ID. open this product by ID. So we have localhost. So I put the ID. I open the product by ID. I can use the name to open the product. For example, we can do a dollar filter name equals, it's already there. This name, so we can open by name as well. We can open by, I don't know, starts with. I have some queries already in here. So I want to see all the products of S2. And if you would like to make a count, you just add the dollar count equal true. So you have 6 S2 products. If you would like to download, for example, a product, so you have to take the ID of the product like that, and you add /$ value, which will let you download the product. That is downloaded. If you would like to see the S3 products, for example, you just have the request prepared, so it's the same thing. It starts with name S3. If you would like to see the count, you just add and dollar count equals. We have 7 products. I think we can stop the ingestion. Depending on the types of the filter you would like, you can do that. There are other filters that you can add. For example, I believe we can do dollar format equal JSON. Oops. I might have made a mistake. Voila. If you would like to see the product in JSON format, depends on which type of filter you would like to use. Now let's move to creating a subscription. Sorry. So for the subscription, I'm an end user. I want to create a subscription. So I'm an end user. I have the subscription normally on the catalog. So it starts with, or we have the product name. Okay. I would like to ensure that my endpoint is the same in here. Otherwise, I'm not going to receive any notifications. Voila. And we can have a notification on all of S2 products. So every time an S2 product is deleted, and if this subscription is running, I would like to receive a notification on the following endpoint. I will create this subscription. The subscription is created. We can see this subscription as we saw in the slides in here. So we have /subscriptions. At the moment, we only have one subscription. We can have multiple subscriptions depending on what type of subscription you would like to create. And then we have the second step. We would like to perform a deletion. So I will bring Postman back to CDH admin API side. I want to create a deletion job, as we saw. So we use the admin at the first level to create all our requests. We use the CDH catalog to create our subscription. And we use the CDH admin API to perform our deletion in a row 1, 2, 3. So I will come and I will create a deletion job. So I would like to delete an S2 product, only one product, because in here we have the filter that's listening to S2 products. Let's come back here. We have this S2 product. We have as well as this S2 product. Let's pick this one up. copy. How many products do we have as a count? 15. We create, so the name equals to this. And I would say a little comment. This deletion job will delete only one product. And let's suppose this is a corrupt product. And I'm going to create this product, this deletion job. As we saw in the slides, this will give me a deletion job ID. Only one product is found. I can use this ID to delete the product. But before deleting, I would like to run my component CDH notification. Okay. Okay, we created a deletion job. Of course, we can pause, we can cancel, we can resume, you can view the documentation. They are mentioned in detail. I will come to launch deletion. I'm going to put the ID of the deletion job and I will execute this job. Product is deleted. We have our response, one product. Normally, if we come to the endpoint, we see that we have a notification that says that this product was deleted. The notification date, the subscription that matched this deletion, subscription ID, the product name, the product ID, and the reason for the deletion. You have any questions? Please. If it's not clear, we could do another deletion. If it's clear, please let us know. Come back to the slides.
No questions.
Back to you, Elisabetta.
Okay, thank you very much, Mansour, for the demo, for the presentation. I hope that it was useful for the user. I invite all the users to contact me in case of any doubt and any question that can arise offline. If there is some user connected that is not enabled to access the Jira project in which we deliver all the software, so the DR project, please, and is interested to download the release, please contact me so that I can give them access or provide the software in a different channel. Thank you very much, everybody. I think
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mansour. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.